sound, what's that? Watch this! This is the heavy, heavy monster sound. The nuttiest sound around. So if you're coming off the street and you're beginning to feel the heat, well, listen, Buster, you better start to move your feet to the rockinest, rock steady beat of madness. One step beyond.
Hello again. This seems to be a new theme on Zaklebert. I've only done one video like this, but it's happening again. I really enjoyed making a video like that. And Albert watched it and he said he quite enjoyed it as well. And I figured it meant that I could talk about things that I love having discussions about. Because, I don't know, recently, just today actually, as of recording this video, just an hour ago, I was at Albert's house with Max. Me, Max and Albert were just chilling. And we were just talking. And that's all we really did. There was some plan we were going to make a video for you guys. But we didn't. We just sat around and talked. And quite honestly, it was really fun. I really like talking. I talk a lot. I don't stop. It's sometimes an issue, actually. But I love talking about people and obviously the things that interest me, but like dynamics with people. And I feel like lots of things change while you're growing up. As you're growing up, being a teenager, right? Lots of things in your life and friendships and all this are bound to change. And if you're a year 6 or a year 7 watching Zaklebert, I'm telling you now, value the friends you've got now. You never know, some of them could still be your friends, but things are gonna change, man. Things change. I went into high school with my best friend from primary school, and me and her don't even talk anymore. Things really change, right? And people change, right? Like, people are forever evolving and changing, and there's obviously new people all the time, right? That's how the world works. But what I find really interesting is communication. You know, how people talk to each other and how people can never really be quite honest. In my opinion, some people are either blatantly rude, and that's their form of honesty, or they don't say things that they hate about people and they talk like smack behind each other's backs. And I think it's really interesting. I think the dynamics that people have create not only relationships and stuff like that, but friction and arguments, and they build character. And through building character, you get stories. And I think it's kind of what I'm grasping at here. I know it's loosely put together, my point, but stories are everywhere. Like, obviously, we live in a world with 8 billion people. Shit happens to people all the time. Like, anything, I don't know, the statistics of people being born at this moment. It's a lot of people, right? So you think about it. Stories are happening all the time. Stuff is being built all the time. Stuff is being created all the time. But it's more and more not done by people. And that's an issue, right? It's the rise of AI. And I know it's something everyone is talking about, apart from things like Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, which are just, I don't even know, man, just crazy shit. It's just, yeah, the world's a state right now. But a big issue, obviously probably not bigger than the other stuff, is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is, I mean, I'm sure you know, unless you've been living under a rock, it is a computer that thinks for itself. And it's not particularly, at the moment, a computer that runs like a human, but more one that can achieve thought and complete its own independent actions. Right? That's not the definite definition, but I'd say I'm quite close. And at first, even I was using AI. AI was a great thing. It was good for research, for several capabilities, for doing my homework on occasion. I'll admit, I used it for maths sometimes when I just couldn't be bothered. But now it becomes an issue, because you can make videos, you can make photos, you can, I mean, you've been able to do this for a while now, you can make stories. And obviously art is something we've had forever. Cavemen were making art. They were doing paintings and stuff. And it's a beautiful thing, art, because anyone can do it. I mean, I know some people will go, but I'm not talented, I can't do this. Everyone can do art, because, I don't know, art is not just like illustrations, films, acting, dance, music. It's not like those core 5 and whatever else you can probably think of off the top of your head. A piece of art is something that's valued for, I guess, invoking an emotion, right? Invoking very human emotion, because like people make art to inspire. People make art to show other people what they're capable of, right? So surely the same argument for art would apply to charity work. Charity work is art. And personally, I think that's kind of true, because charity work is so beautiful. It's so amazing, right? People doing this for other people. And an AI couldn't do that. Well, it could, but it wouldn't instill the same values, because people who do charity work are doing it sometimes out of the kindness of their heart. And at the moment, AI doesn't really have that capability to have kindness and empathy towards people. It's coded to. It's meant to have programs that are nice to people, but it's just because that's what it has to do, right? No one has to give to charity. No one is obliged to. But they do. They do, you know? And it's interesting, because obviously we're studying at GCSE level at the moment, and we're studying Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, and he talks a lot about moral obligations. And I think you may say I'm going off on a tangent here, but that's things that are art, no? The art of life, right? The art and beauty of kindness and charity, but I don't think it should be labelled as an obligation. If you can't give, then you can't. You can't. That's that. And I know that's not what the Christmas Carol is saying, but if someone treated other people with kindness, they don't have a moral obligation to give. They're already doing the right thing, right? I think that's where the art of life kind of comes into play, okay? Because in the last video where I went all philosophical, we spoke about the size of the universe and our meaning here, right? And I think our meaning obviously is, like I said in that last video, to make a sizable impact on the world, but also to make our art, to make our beauty. And that's what we do as people. We make our beauty, right? We make our art. So why, then, you might ask, is it treated so badly when people do bad things? If human nature is art, then why is it that we don't like what Trump is doing? Well, there's an obvious answer, right? What Trump is doing is bad. It's morally wrong. It's horrible. Everything that's been on the news recently. If you support MAGA, unsubscribe. I don't care if I lose subscribers. I'm not getting that kind of support. But anyway, that's off topic. Have you ever watched a bad film? There's bad art. It's still art. It's the art of life. It's what keeps everyone going. And I don't want to be a functionalist. I think I'm using the term correctly. I don't want to be the person that says we have to have bad things for the world to run. But we do, right? And they're terrible, and they're sad, and it's awful that's happening. And obviously we should work our way to stopping it. But we can still find beauty around it, right? Like, people complain about it all the time, but I promise you, some of those people, if they saw someone being affected by it, they might just not do something, you know? And I think that's where something's being lost, okay? This is really the main point of this video, why I'm making this video. I think humanity has been lost. I miss human interaction. I miss going into a shop and speaking to the shopkeeper despite not knowing him, despite him being part of a different community, right? I'm quite obviously like white, okay? I'm mixed race, but I look quite white, okay? But I can interact with people who are brown, who are black. It doesn't affect who they are. And it's not just race, obviously. There's gender, there's sexuality, there's all these factors that come into play. I still interact with these people because they are fundamentally the same as me. They are fundamentally people, right? And there's no reason for me not to interact with them. And as a society, this is where we're failing. We judge people based on the way that they look, the way that they act, when people could just be brilliant and we wouldn't know. Someone with, say, Tourette's might be swearing loudly on a train, and someone will get a bad impression from that. But they shouldn't immediately form judgments and, like, I don't know, if that person needed help, not help them. And I think that's the issue. We've put up all these boundaries, and we've guarded ourselves from the world, from people, from the art of living, And I think this is the point where it needs to stop. Okay? And I know as a 16-year-old, my input in the grand world of 8 billion people about human interaction isn't going to mean very much. About 50 people will watch this video, and it might resonate with them, it might not. But I still want to put it out there that human interaction and human nature at this time in the world is what matters the most, okay? Because it's not the art of acting or the art of the fooling of people that's going on right now. It's the art of being a fucking person, okay? The art of being human and saying hello to random people on the street just because you feel like it, just because you want to be kind, okay? There's a moral obligation, isn't there? I mean, I know I disregarded what Charles Dickens was trying to teach. There's not a moral obligation to give. There's a moral obligation to be human and interact with other humans. And I feel like that's our failing. That's our societal failing. Is to not treat everyone with kindness. Oh, it's 100% on the terrible people for being terrible people, but we can stop that as a society, you know? I'm not saying their wrongdoings are blamed on the society. No, their wrongdoings are their own wrongdoings. People do horrible things because they're horrible people. But if the world was a little kinder, I think we'd have less horrible people. So, I think if you're watching Zaklebert, and if you're a fan or if you're not, and you've just seen this video and you've tuned in for all, I reckon 18 minutes, then just start being more kind. Even if you are already, even if you're a kind person who says hello to everyone, just keep doing it, okay? Because what the world needs now, more than anything, is the art of being human and the art of mankind. What the world needs now is small changes that make a big one, okay? Because to quote the first man on the moon, it's one more step there. Let me go again. To quote the first man on the moon, it's one small step for man, people, all of us. One giant leap for mankind. You have to embrace the art of life, and then maybe, just maybe, all this shit, it won't stop, but it will slow down. And that's my thoughts for this video. That's me sitting in front of the camera today and telling you what I think, because I think we need to bring it back. The art of life, the art of being kind to everyone, being happy, and being us. Because that is what the world needs right now. Goodbye.
Nobody gives a fuck.